A bunch of leaks just dropped on the Podforge podcast with the adventures of Adam, Simon, and Charlemagne. And on top of that, before we even had a chance to theorycraft who these guys were, we even saw more drops from the official Fateless channel, which we are going to go through today. And I'm just going to give you guys some extra context to make sure you definitely knew who most of these characters were, if you've ever missed them in any of the Godforge leaks. And more importantly, there is some secret spicy other heroes in here too that we've not seen yet, and it's going to get you all excited. So before we get in, smash like, comment, and subscribe, and let's dive into today's video and all the leaks that's been going on. And we're going to start off straight away with the Podforge here, because as you can kind of see, there is the character list, and the character list here is going to have a bunch of different heroes that we're going to be able to see. The first is going to be Amaterasu at the very top left corner here, going into Aphrodite with two new faces in the portrait. However, I will tell you, we already knew who the top three one is. This was Belobog, and we did get to see a content creator leak of him through a good old art attack back in April. I want to say it was landed maybe April or in the June-July art attack too, where many of these heroes were showcased. And the thing is, if we go into the latest video that the Godforge team did go on, you get to see Amaterasu here in her full glory. And I'm going to say she does look sweet. She does. She looks awesome. The only thing I hope, maybe they go for this, I don't know. But the one thing I would love to see with Amaterasu here is the actual hair. I don't know. I love the hair design, but I wish it was a bit more flowing. You know, maybe give it a little bit of life to it instead of it being so stuck to her hair, kind of like the good old 1990s blue hair gel we all used to rock back in the day. But what we get to see here is a little brief glimpse into the filter system. But what's really important is we're going to be seeing Virage-based heroes. And this was very important because when we go into the other heroes, as you're going to see, some of them I personally didn't know, but the new video, which we get to see here, does showcase them all on screen. So we're going to be using that with the Podforge together. So the first thing is we get Belobog, and I already guessed this correctly before seeing, but the fourth one is going to be Chernobog. This is a Slavic little mythology between two brothers, one being the dark, one being the light force of basically the world in their religion. It's really cool to go down. It's a really cool little story in the Slavic arts. So check it out. But we get to see them. We do get to see these heroes later down the line. So if you skip forward just a tiny bit here, we start to see we got Chernobog, who is the big old bad man of the two, right? With Belobog being the good brother. So it's really cool. We get to see what these guys look like so far in game. Obviously, there's going to be polishing up towards the end of things, but it gives you a good, cool sense of idea of the direction they've gone down. Obviously, the facial feature just showcasing one thing that obviously hasn't been fixed yet or sorted, which is the facial monolith look, which is fair enough. It is what it is on there, right? We also get to see on here, which we go through on the other one, Belobog. So this is what Belobog looks like. An absolute, again, amazing little hero here. I can't wait to test out. I can't wait to see what their skills are. It gets me excited for them to obviously finish out. You can see obviously there is some refinement that needs to be ended, which they all know. We don't need to tell them about the clipping, guys. They know about the clipping. So that's going to be super important because you can see back in the original image, that's going to be those two heroes at the top. And when you go down though, you're going to see next to Horus here is another guy, and we already know who this is. This is the Fisher King, I believe his name is, and we're going to be using another amazing resource here, Raven Pyros. Everything we're looking at today will be in the links in the description down below, so you can check it out for yourselves. And the Fisher King did get spoiled quite a long time ago, and he is an Avalon-based defender, and he looks really cool. Can't wait to see what his skills are actually going to be in game, but super cool that we have basically him again being shown in this little screenshot. The next thing is, we've got two guys here, right? We've got two guys. And the thing is, we know one of them. And the thing is, we actually believe I know the second one. Because the thing is, one of them got leaked as an epic hero. But I do believe they've increased the rarity of him, right? And that's going to be the first guy here. And I believe that is Nebuchadnezzar. The reason why I've got strong believing it's Nebuchadnezzar is if we just do a nice quick little Google search of him, you can see how he kind of looks in game. And especially if you look at like Rise of Kingdoms, they do have a very, very similar look, especially with this helmet and the beard style of this hero. So I do think we might be looking at, when it comes to this guy right here, is going to be Nebuchadnezzar, a new, basically look at him as a portrait. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. But the next guy on, we also already have seen. We have seen in a video from the Fateless team called Alpha Alpha Alpha. You can check that out, where you get to see Order and Ymir's models, which should be on screen for you guys who might have missed it. And again, a really good little hero. What's really cool though is, we already knew about him. He is going to be on this screen somewhere, wherever Order is. But Order has been seen before in the game. And what's really interesting is, as we go through these actual screenshots or images, you're going to see some extra details to do with Oda Nobunaga. Firstly, as you can see, he does have the initiative kind of leadership bonus, but you also get a little mini leak of what one of his skills potentially is going to do. And this is because as this video goes through, you'll notice they go through the filtering system, which they also do on the new video, which is the Fateless one here, which just came out earlier on today. But when we go through this little faction area, we've got to be careful on when we hit the brawlers, because when we hit the brawlers, we're going to get access to another new hero I don't think we've actually seen before, as well as some important information, because in here we get to find out, firstly, that our Oda Nobunaga is going to be a brawler-based unit, which is kind of cool to find out. So we know he's a brawler. We also see Ymir there, as well as another hero. And again, you've already seen this being linked in the models. But then we get a new epic hero, this guy. I honestly have no clue who he is. I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. No clue who this guy is. And I have been trying to look down on the videos and all the information we've got here of current epic heroes in the game. And the thing is, as we go through that list, there's no one that looks like this guy. So I understand that this could be potentially a new Japanese samurai, or that I believe it could be a Mongolian warlord. It could be someone like Genghis Khan or someone in that era that's meant to be super infamous. It's going to be interesting to find out who this guy is, because it's really, really cool. On top of that, though, there's two other new heroes, and we get to see both of them. One of them we get to see in this video later on, which we will showcase in a second. But we also get to see Jotun, I believe. This is the guy in between Ymir as well as Anubis. And the thing is, if you don't know who Jotun is, you can check it out through, again, a quick little Google search. But Jotun is basically the new word for giants, right? And the cool thing is, with these giants and the name, particularly Jotun, it was siphoned and named in the Beowulf poem, which also you will be able to find here on the good old Wikipedia and a little bit more information on it. So I want to guess this guy is either like Jotun, or maybe some other really great giant, or maybe some sort of ice troll king. I don't know. It's going to definitely be on those lines on who this is going to be. So I'm really interested in seeing who that is. It's giving me Heimdall vibes. I'm already on paper for it. So there's a ton of new heroes there. The next and last new hero, which we are going to showcase, is going to be this guy at the top right, who is Velas. Velas, or as people will also name in the mythology, Volos, because there's two words of him. He's basically the Slavic god of the underworld, livestock, and something else I forgot, right? So it's really cool that we're seeing this guy in. And as the Godforge podcast goes through with Podforge, Adam does a really little poke here to Simon. So big shout out to Simon here while I poke his nose in video. That he says to him, is this guy gonna shapeshift? And Simon gets a little bit flustered, and I know me and many others saw that live during that instance. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he is gonna be who he is. So that's Veles, that's the other new hero that you're gonna see from the beginning. And kind of as we go through this little filter system, there's no other new hero that you get to see at the moment. However, there is some information, so you get to find out some buffs or potential attacks on other gods. So one of them is you're going to see on the speed tabs here. As soon as we pause it on the speed 2, Order does show up. So we know now at least Order Nobunaga is going to be a brawler with initiative leadership bonus if he has that still on to him for initiative. And one of his skills, we don't know which, but at least one is providing a speed up 2 buff either to himself or to allies. We don't know, but he is being showcased here with the other 2, which is Aphrodite and Kusakor, which does the same. So that's one major thing that we need to pay attention to. The next one is as we kind of go through and skip through, you will see he goes into the debuff section. And as we go into the debuff section, we get to see the defense down area 2. And as he goes on to the defense 2, you're going to see he actually showcases Ymir. So we know from this little mini leak that like Leonidas and Pangu, at least Ymir is going to also have a defense down 2 on his kit. Is it going to be a single target? Is it going to be an AoE? We're going to have to find out, but I'm going to guess it's going to be an AoE avalanche based skill here. So it's super hype just to kind of see this bit. And I'm going to do a full video talking about the filtering system for heroes, as well as the gear and weapon system, which we get to see in this video here on the other heroes. So this is super important because this is a new hero that we get to see, and in the Podforge here we are also going to be able to see this hero in the hero pool, and this is someone I never knew about, which was kind of cool. So as we skip forward a little bit now into the Podforge, we're gonna allow Simon to get some spoilers on his showcase. But one thing I wanted to pause before we move on, because it has been a quite hyped video, let's be honest. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. The weapon, I don't know if you guys realized, but first thing I noticed, which wasn't in alpha, is the fact that heroes require a Ascension 2 to unlock your weapon slot, which is very interesting because I'll be honest, at Ascension 1 you got something, I think, and then Ascension 3 was the big one because it was your passive. So the fact that they've given Ascension 2 a reason to get there is, again, really nice. I like the fact that we get to unlock our weapon, to be honest, pretty early on our hero. So just wanted to mention that before we move on to other heroes that we're going to see, because he goes through and showcases, as he does a little bug out, Amaterasu here again for the Podforge team, as well as other heroes. And this is when things got kind of spicy because of, obviously, the different of heroes that are going to appear on this side. So as we scroll down, I just want to refresh. I believe this is Nebuchadnezzar with Order. Then we've got Odin and Pangu with Sphinx. So we know all of those guys. Then we've got the new heroes, which we've just seen, which is Velez, and we're going to see him again in a moment. Then we've got YDG Wamir. Then we've got Zeus, and then a new guy. And this is where things get super interesting, because I've already guessed Nebuchadnezzar for one of the good old Sumerian gods. However, I don't know who this guy is. This guy is something new. I have no clue who he is. However, just to give you guys a bit of research that I have done, I do believe he's Sumerian. So if you type in Sumerian gods and kind of let the AI do the thing, you'll see here from the different sources, there is these different areas like the Enki, the god of wisdom, magic, water, creation, creator of humanity, right? But then there's Shamash, there's Sin, there's Husag, right? There's all of these different Sumerian gods that this guy could be. So I will say this guy here next to Zeus definitely should be a Sumerian god of some sign. No clue who, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the section down below. Obviously to the right, I do believe this is Jotun. I'm happy to be proven wrong, but I believe this is some sort of like giant or another very big figure in Norse mythology, because he definitely looks like a defender or some sort of frost berserker of some sort, right? So when we get to see Velez again here for another time, afterwards we get to scroll down and see some more heroes. And this is when things get, again, quite spicy, because there's a bunch of heroes here that we know of, and I believe this is some new heroes at the same time. So if we just kind of let it play and pause it at the right time this time, you're going to see we've got Freya there right above us. So these 4 heroes, we know 3 of them, and I believe the 4th one is my guess. So the first thing is, this is Izanami. We know Izanami exists. We've seen content creator leaks in the past. This is Merlin, and this is Freya. And again, we can showcase this through the Raven Pyros website, where you can see Merlin right here having a good old time. You can see Freya and Izanami again having a good old time. So that's those 2 heroes there, all in for show. But the thing is, this hero here has many people probably wondering who she is, because I can tell you now, it's not Cleopatra. The reason why we know it's not Cleopatra, we've seen her, and you get to see her as well in the video at the end of the spoilers, and she is an epic hero. So this is a legendary hero, and what's really interesting is, if you guys kind of be really logical here, she looks like Isis, she looks like Cleopatra, and there's only over one person that has ever looked like either of those heroes, and that is the good old Isis twin sister, NEPHTHYS. And she is, I believe, sister or wife to Set, as well as a bunch of other stuff like giving birth to Anubis, which is kind of cool, I'm gonna be honest. But you get to learn about this other twin sister, and she is a pretty cool story from what I'm hearing here, having no temples of her own. She was worshipped alone. Like, excuse me? Like, yes, please. I want to learn more about this deity in particular. So it's going to be very interesting to see how she comes, and that is again in this screenshot here. As we scroll down, we see some more heroes, and this is where, again, the new one comes in. So I believe this guy was called Savar something. It's another hero. Check this video out. It's really fucking cool, I'm gonna be honest. He looks badass. He almost gives me what Tyr or Vulcan might have looked like, but in Godforge, right, as a good old blacksmith. I think this looks sick, I'm gonna be honest. One of my actual favorite designs from the Godforge team, whoever made this. Actually simple, yet so effective on there. And again, you get to see this hero directly above. So that's that guy right there. And the thing is, we do get another hero to his right, which I don't believe we get to see in this video. So you can kind of see we get to go across, where we get to see Baba Yaga as well, just to refresh your memories if you guys ever missed looking at Baba Yaga. She looks amazing too. Can't wait to see that hero in the game. But there we go, Baba Yaga in game. It looks absolutely fantastic. But apart from that, you don't see anyone else apart from Perun here and the other kind of hero you get to see down below. So you don't see her. And this is obviously where my thinking caps and questions start to come on. And the thing is, I honestly think this could be potentially, and I'm happy to be wrong again, I reckon this is Terra. Absolutely. I love the fact that if this is Terra, this would be a really clever call on bringing this hero into the game, or god into the game. In the Roman mythology, as you can see, Terra is the equivalent of the Greek goddess Gaia, is personified as a primal mother goddess of earth. Literally, mother of, you know, the mother god. Like, it's everyone knows her, right? It's the mother, all right? So it'd be really interesting to see if this is Terra. I don't think it could be, but if I am right here, I'm going to be buzzing. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be buzzing. So really cool little heroes there. We've got Anubis that follows her. Then we've got this hero, which I do believe we get to see after Perun here. And Perun is, if you guys are wondering, showcased just a second later on this video here. So if we press play, it will scroll down, as you'll see in a moment, after he shows Athena, which is this hero here. And when he scrolls down, you'll see Perun. So you're going to see here a few other heroes, including Isis, Ishtar, I believe this is Ishtar here, Loki, someone new, which I've got my theories on, Mulan, which I believe this is supposed to be, and the king, the one and only Sun Wukong, which I think many people are going to get super hyped to be able to see. And then we've got Sinzin here, or Sizin, that we also know, which is on, again, this website. You can check him out just over there. It's not Apuk. It is a different god altogether. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they bring Apuk in as another Mayan god. But I do believe this middle god is someone new. And I've got my theories on potentially two gods. One of them I've got a lot more affinity towards, thinking it's going to be this god. And this is actually going into our game, Smite here. And in the Roman gods, there was a god as we could play as, Nox, and she was the goddess of night. And I think this could be potentially the way, get away with these advertisements, this is the way potentially we might be seeing the goddess of night in the game. And it kind of gives me the same vibes with the purple, the blue, even the flames in game were actually like this light blue. So it kind of fills the same color palette as this hero, because we know it's not certain heroes like I think Persephone and stuff like that. That's super interesting. So I want to know who this one is, because again, when we press play here, you're going to see on the other video Perun, which we already knew exists, but now we get to see his full 3D, which looks amazing. We get to see Divana here, which looks amazing too, which is an epic hero. Then we get to see another epic hero and a couple of rares too from the Vaj, which is Magura, really cool looking hero. Obviously got this chalice. Get to see it obviously put into her hand when it's finally done. Mokosh, we knew about this hero too from content creator leaks in the past, which was really cool to see. Then we've got Koshche, and I'm gonna be honest, this guy looks sick. He gives me old school dark iron dwarf vibes. I'm just saying, guys. So whoever did that, and if that was your inspiration, you nailed it. 10 out of 10 on that. He looks so sweet. It's insane. Then we also get to see Groot, aka Leshe, which is going to be fun to play with. I wonder what Groot's going to be like in the good old Godforge. Then we also get Poldonista, I want to say that's pronounced, and she looks really cool too for the Virage. So you can see there's a bunch of epics all showcased here, and you got to think these could be the heroes that were in these black portraits, not the legendaries, but there is, as we press play here and he scrolls down, more heroes, right? There's more heroes like this one here that's obviously tinted out, as well as more heroes that you can see, which includes, as you see, Perun. We get to see Shamash, we get to see King Arthur, Hercules, Heimdall, and then if you're wondering who those two guys are in the top center, well, one of them, this guy on the left side, is no other than one of my favorite Mayan gods, and not even gods, one of the Mayan brothers, shall we say correctly. Yes, he is Churbalonke, the one and only. Can't believe this guy is in game. And if Churbalonke is here, I expect then his brother to be in game too, because they're twin brothers. And this, I'm just going to be honest, is the most metal story in mythology. Because if you don't understand what I mean by that, this is one of the hero twins, Churbalonke, and their lives would eventually force them to face the Lords of Death. I'm just saying it sounds as metal as you could make it in a movie scene, right? So, Churbalonke, can't believe to see him. Absolute ecstatic. I cannot wait to play with him. Obviously, we've just seen Perun on the video that we've just seen here. And then to the right of him, we get to see Raijin here. So, Raijin is a really cool looking hero, as you can see. Super sweet looking that we're going to play with. But There's also, as you can see, some other heroes. So just to remind you, this is 4. So you guys are wondering, yes, 4 is in the game. And then we've got Yan Wang, which is this guy, and he was leaked a super long time ago. And I remember the devs wondering how they wanted his headpiece to be a little bit different, and the direction on his design. Absolutely loved that. And you can see this as well here with Yan Wang in the game. So most of those, as you can see, we actually knew quite a lot of them, while there was a ton of new stuff, including we've got Cleopatra here, and this is the bat, I think. It's like Nosferatu, or it's one of these bats. I've forgotten what it was from. I don't know if it's the Slavic or the Viraj gods. You will hate me for forgetting, but I am sorry for it, right? So there was a ton of leaks all on the Podforge. And to finish it up, I just want to show off what obviously other leaks came out from the Viraj, because there was some blue and green heroes that you get to see after Plutonista, which is Ladder. Really cool looking little hero. Obviously we get to Maria Morevna, absolute all-star at killing ISIS in Alpha Wave 3, if you guys didn't know. Then we've got this guy. I actually just like this guy. He looks cool. He just looks like a good old, like, I wouldn't say like Viking, but I'm just saying he looks like a Targaryen. I'll say it, it's a Targaryen, bro. Right? But the last actual hero you can see here is a green rare hero, just to finish things off. So as you can kind of guess, we have gone through a ton of hero leaks here. And Godforge, like I said, the gift that keeps giving, and that is obviously our Godforge experience so far. It's almost Christmas every single day, it feels like, with this game. So this is all the hero leaks that's gone through. Honestly, that's all the heroes from the Podforge podcast. That is every single guy here. We know all of them now. We should know them all. Every single one has been content creator leaked, and I've obviously just kind of refreshed your memories on them, including brand new heroes all coming to the game, like Xbalanque, which is going to look absolutely cool, and the one and only Sun Wukong, which many people are going to get super hyped on. Can't wait to see what other heroes are obviously going to come to Godforge. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think this hero in between Loki and Mulan, as I'm guessing, is Nox? If not, who do you think that god is? And with that, you know what we need to say. Smash that comment and subscribe. And thank you, Fateless, and obviously Adventures of Adam, for honestly putting some great content out for us, the Godforge community, to react to and get our teeth sunk into while we wait for the beta to come. And if you enjoyed the video, smash like, comment, and subscribe. Till the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky, guys. Peace out.